Hello. Welcome to Coffee and Commiseration. This is Kay Steinsip here. Today it's wine and commiseration, my friends. It's Friday evening. It's Shabbat. I wanted to come and say hi to you and commiserate about a few things before I head to our Shabbat dinner with our friends who are now scattered all about town. Palisades is a very close little community, and now we're sort of all everywhere. And so our Shabbat dinners are not every Friday, but we're trying to do them as much as we can, bringing all of us a lot of comfort. That's one thing that is nice about Shabbat. No matter where you are, no matter what's happening, you can always go back to it and just be together. So in our case, we just drink wine, we have bread, we have a delicious meal, we light candles, we say some prayers, and that's about it. So I'm waiting for John because he has just finished his closing argument before jury. So that's kind of exciting. He's like dead tired, but he feels like it went well, and he's coming home. He's going to make an appearance at our friend's Shabbat dinner. Thank God these friends happen to live also in Venice. Thank God, because I have been driving once again all day. I drop the kids off at school. It takes me an hour and a half, drop them off. Then I run around and do all sorts of errands and things. And then I pick them up. It takes me another hour and a half and I come home. This is my week. This is why I'm having this wine. Thank you for joining me. So a few things I wanted to talk about. One, and I'll preface this by saying I never expected this to be my life, right? I expected to be still like a corporate lawyer in a law firm. And then I would be very limited in the things I could talk about. Now I can talk about anything because I just am only living in the day I'm in. I have no aspirations other than one day I feel the calling to do some sort of public service, but politics is just like my thing. I'm obsessed with it. I can't get away from it. So I feel someday I would like to do that. However, in the meantime, I have no aspirations. I don't need anything else. I don't need more money. I don't need to do anything. I'm just living day to day. I'm trying to help as many people as I can. I'm trying to be a good mom to my kids. I'm trying to be good person and make the most of my time here. That means I can say just about anything. And today I would like to talk about the fact that as I've been driving around all over Los Angeles, schlepping kids all week, I have noticed that I now have a problem where I just suddenly start peeing. It's so annoying, this goddamn menopause, which mine started at 39 because I had cancer. And I have really never noticed that I had this weakness because I was never out like for extended periods of time like this. Like I walked Eli to school and walked home. So I never had this situation where I'm like in the car for all this time. And now I realize like, oh my God, I'm like peeing. And a lot of my friends have had this problem. And so I thought, we should talk about it. This menopause stuff is for the birds. Mine started because I had cancer and it started at 39. And, now I'm 48. So you can't help but be kind of mad about the fact that like what were supposed to be pretty good years had to be menopause years, and no sort of like, slow easing into it. That was like, you're pregnant, you're breastfeeding, you're a new mother, and bam, like you're stopping and your hormones are going away. So I have to admit, it sucks. It really does. A lot of my friends are talking about the fact that like, cause they're entering menopause now naturally, and they're doing hormone replacement therapy. And, many of them are saying like, I could not work if I didn't do hormone replacement therapy. Like one of my friends is a lawyer, and like, she's like, I literally could not do my job. Like I'm not sleeping. I can't think. I can't concentrate. I can't remember anything. Everything is hurting. Like I literally like was not able to work until I got on HRT. Yeah. So I'm the opposite of this in that, like, not only can I not get on HRT, I can't get on, I have to block my hormones. So I'm the exact opposite. I have to like take medication to make them, you know, go away, kill them, whatever, block them. They cannot be there. So, you know, so I've noticed this thing, and I know some of my other friends too. Like, just when you have kids, like for me, I have a small frame, and I had three big babies, huge, big, large Steinsipier heads, and yeah, I did Mona Lisa, which is a laser treatment for your vagina, and it's supposed to, you know, tighten things up. And I don't know if it did anything, but clearly I need a touch up. But I'm so annoyed. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm 48 years old and I am walking around peeing. Like, I cannot believe it. But I know it's a common thing. So I thought, let's discuss these matters. Also, um, another very common thing that I hear all my friends talking about, one of my friends said it best just the other day. She was like, like, I just don't want to fuck. Like, I don't want to fuck. I'm not interested. Like, she's a riot. Like, so funny the way she said it in her face. But it's like so true, you guys. It's tough when we go through these hormonal changes, isn't it? And just, you've been together for, I don't know, I've been married for 18 years. Um, Life and kids and all these changes with your body, and it's just like, but you don't want to be going through life like as roommates. Like, that sucks too. You can't do that either. So I don't know. I just thought you could commiserate with me over that. I feel like it's kind of like exercise, to be honest. I was thinking this, like, for me, it's sort of like exercise in that if I have sex, then I want to have sex more. And I'm saying it kind of quietly because my kids are downstairs. So sorry. Um, then I want to, like, if I go to the gym, which I don't like to go to the gym at all, but if I exercise and I feel like, okay, great, I'm on that, I'm in that mode. And if I'm not, I am just not. I am just not even thinking about that. I am far away from that. It's like same thing with eating. It's like I'm either eating well or I'm just eating whatever. Like, kind of no in between. Um, so I don't know if you feel like that, but for me, it's like, they say sleep begets sleep, like you say that about babies. When I don't know if you guys had this issue, but like Molly was a baby that just did not sleep. Like, for 4 straight months, this girl cried. And it was just so hard. I would like literally get in the crib with her. That's how hard it was. Mm. So they would say sleep begets sleep. So like when they're really overtired, then they can't sleep, and then it's just like a cycle. And that's how it was for us. I think the same is true with sex. Sex begets sex. Um, I heard somebody come in. As you know, this is not a professional situation over here, which I kind of like. And I feel like people who are listening, I don't know if people are watching me, if people can see me. Hi, if you can. I think more people are listening. But you can also watch on like YouTube and Substack and wherever else. um, yeah. So I think what I have heard from people who have been giving feedback, and they say, oh, I just feel like I'm just sitting with you. Like, I'm just sitting with a friend, having coffee, having a glass of wine. And that's like what I'm going for. So I am rolling with this like unscripted thing, and it's all I have time for anyway. So that's what we have to go with. And one thing I am super excited about is that people are telling me like they are writing, on Substack or doing things that they've been wanting to do, but they haven't felt like it was the right time, or they're waiting for something, or whatever. I know people are looking at me, and even if this podcast sucks, like, people see it and they hear it and they see me doing it, and it is motivating them to get out of their comfort zone and just try and just go and just do, because our time is limited. It's limited. Things can burn up in a fire. disasters happen, accidents happen. We cannot assume we have more time. We can't. And people are afraid of that, but you shouldn't be afraid of that. You should let that motivate you. That should make you feel like, fuck it. Like, I am going for it. I don't care. I don't care if I fail. I don't care if it's not good enough. And that's hard for me because I'm a perfectionist. So that's hard, really hard for me. However, what would be worse would be if I die tomorrow and I never did the things that I really wanted to try. Like, and all these other people are out there with podcasts, and I listen to them and I'm like, if they can do it, then why can't I? And I've always thought the same thing about writing a book. Like, whenever I'm in a bookstore, I'm like, where's my book? Like, my book belongs here. And I've always had that feeling. And I hope you guys have that too. That, why not you? Look at all these other people. I remember, like, I told my college professor who was helping me apply to law school. And she was also a law professor. So I went to an all women's college called Mills College in Oakland. And it's a very small liberal arts school, all women. Like, I would say probably like 70 to 90%, like, LGBTQ plus before those were terms, like a lot of trans students and all of that before it was something that had like a label. So my professor, her name was Lori Zimmett, and she taught at UC San Francisco Hastings Law School. And I loved Lori Zimmett. And remember, I was not somebody who was like should have been in college. I should have been like a nail tech in Fresno. Nothing wrong with nail techs, but that's kind of where my trajectory would have been, because I just didn't have any role models. I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything. I was just like a kid in an area where it was not the norm to go away to college or to even go to college at all. A lot of my friends, like I said, most of my friends got pregnant in high school. So the fact that I was in college at all was unusual, to say the least. And it was because of my teacher, Mr. Haggard, who I've talked about on this podcast, who said, hey, you're really smart. Like, you should go away to college. And it was a whole process of trying to work with me and get me turned around and give me the tools to figure out how to do that. So Lori Zimmett was like this, like, she was very masculine. She wore like a men's cut suit. She had like a mullet, like curly hair. She had this little beagle called Bagel. And I loved that beagle, the bagel, whatever, whatever his name was, Bagel, the Beagle, excuse me. And I loved Lori. She was like this total New Yorker, like really just like, with like the Brooklyn accent and everything, and just tough and smart. And like, I love this woman. So I'm in her office and we're working on my applications for law school. And she was one who told me I should go to law school. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. My grandmother, my nanny, was like, "Yeah, you should go to law school. Like, you're great at arguing." It's like, that is not a criteria for law school. If anyone ever tells you that, no, don't listen. In my case, it turned out I was good at law school and I was good at being a lawyer, but that's not the job criteria, my friends. It's actually oftentimes very boring, and a lot of reading and writing and researching and like head in the books, like study kind of work. And then as I got more senior in my job, I was just doing, tons of like phone calls and court and meetings and all of that. But it's definitely not the sexy career it's made out to be on TV shows and movies. This was John's first like time delivering a closing argument in front of a jury, and he's been practicing for many, many years now. I don't even know how long have we been practicing? Like almost 20 years. It's just not common. Like, cases don't go to juries. Most of them go to arbitration. So if you're a civil business lawyer like us, you're not in front of a jury. Not very often. So anyway, back to the story. I digress. Lori Zimmett has me in her office, and I show her my essay for law school. And in the essay, I say, sorry, I had to sip my wine. I say in the essay, I would like to eventually graduate from law school and become a Supreme Court justice. Now, I thought, well, why can't I do that, right? I had no reason to think I couldn't do that. Um, Lori Zimmett laughed. She laughed at me, and you remember she was a very brash kind of individual in general, very, very no nonsense. So she laughed, and I was like, why is that funny? Why? Why is she laughing? And I felt like embarrassed, and I said, oh, like, should I take it out? And she said, no, no, just leave it in. Kind of like, it's cute. Like, and that was, I hope people don't do that, right? To other people, because it's like, I had no idea. I had no limitation in my mind. So in a way, because I came from nothing, because I never knew any lawyers, I didn't know people who went to college or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, that Supreme Court stuff, like, I like that. I was really interested in learning about that. So I'd like to do that. And in a way, it helped me. I had no idea that was out of my reach. And she told me it was, and that I should just, keep it in because it's, like amusing or something. So Lori, I love you. If you happen to hear this or see this, that stayed with me and it was not good. Anyway, guys, I digress. I am off to Shabbat soon. I just wanted to check in with you. I had a few minutes. I thought, I kind of feel like there are sometimes I want to say things, and similarly, like there are sometimes I want to write something. Like I feel really motivated and compelled to write something. And when those urges grab you, you have to follow them, right? Like, so you have to, because that's when like your creative energy is flowing. That's when you have something to say that's interesting, and etc. So even though I'm like actually late going to my Shabbat dinner, I just felt like I should come and talk to you, and commiserate about the fact that menopause is a bitch and we hate it and we should all talk about it more. The fact that, by the way, we didn't commiserate about this, but I have to commiserate about this before we go. Donald Trump and JD Vance. Oh my fucking God. Why did we put these people in office? I mean, I didn't. I did everything humanly possible not to. But oh my God. Like, I don't know if you saw the meeting with President Zelensky in the Oval Office with Donald Trump and JD Vance today. If you haven't, please go and watch it. It is, I don't even know what, I'm at a loss for words how to describe how horrifying, how disgusting, how beneath the office of the President of the United States and the Vice President, JD Vance is the weaselly, little, slimy motherfucker. And by the way, like, I could have written a book just like his. What was that book? I read it that Oprah recommended, about his Appalachian roots. I could write a book just like that as well, except I wouldn't sell out my own people and talk shit about them. I find him so just sickening. I cannot stand him. So anyway, if you didn't catch that meeting in the Oval Office, definitely Google that. Some of my friends do not follow politics at all. This is, again, code red. Code red. This is not normal. This is something that has never happened in the United States before, that we have a president who is not with our allies, who is doing the work of Vladimir Putin, our greatest arch enemy. Like, it boggles the mind. I don't understand it. I don't know what has transpired behind the scenes that makes Trump beholden to Putin, but he clearly is. And it's incredibly dangerous. I mean, I don't know how this is going to work out. It's not something we're going to be able to just sit back for 4 years and, think, okay, well, he was president before and we all got through that. And, whatever, like, this is not something I need to be worried about. No, it is. This is something you need to worry about. It's going to affect all of us in profound ways. All the stuff about the economy is going to get way worse. All of these tariffs, all of these deportations, all of this bullshit. I don't know if you have taken a look at the price of eggs. The price of eggs is way higher. It's gone up. Trump said he was going to come into office and they were going to become lower. They're not lower. They're more expensive. 50 cents an egg is the average. Like, wake up, wake up, wake up. This is not normal. We have got to keep screaming from the rooftops. We have got to contact all of our elected representatives. We cannot just sit by on the sidelines while this transpires. At a minimum, pay attention. This is not normal. It is dangerous. It is so fucked up. On that note, L'chaim, Shabbat Shalom, cheers, happy Friday. We have to do what we have to do to get by, and to continue to embrace life, to live, to be in each and every day, to do all the things we want to do. And at the same time, we've got to be aware of what is going on and speaking up and taking care of each other. So I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you back soon.